Hi, it's Mrs. Hall. Welcome to Mrs. Hall's Art Room. Today in art, we're going to draw trees. We are going to draw realistic or fake trees. An example of fake, or another word for fake, is faux. And today that's what we are going to be learning. I have an example of a fake or artificial tree right here. Some of you might have real Christmas trees at your house. Some of you might have artificial Christmas trees at your house. We are going to draw a tree. You could make a winter tree. You could make a Christmas tree. You could make your tree a kindness tree. You're going to use your imagination and you are going to draw some faux trees. The art supplies that you will need today are a pencil for drawing, a black marker for outlining, and eraser for erasing all of your pencil lines. You decide if you want to use crayons or markers or color pencils, or if you want to paint your trees today, you can add paint. Go ahead and get your art supplies and let's learn about faux art. All right, now that you have all the art supplies that you're going to use today to make your trees, here is an example or a reference of different styles of trees that you might like to use. If you are interested in drawing any of these trees, then you can pause the video and use this as a reference. I also have another example for you to look at. Here are some additional trees. These look a little bit more like Christmas trees. They all have stars on the top of them. If you would like to use this piece of paper as a reference, you can use that. When you are drawing, you decide if you want your paper to be landscape or if you would like your paper to be portrait. Either direction would be fine. I am going to show you some different examples of trees and show you how to draw them before we get started. Here are 8 trees that I drew, and if you look at all of these, they're all different. Some of them have stars on the top. I even put a heart on the top of this one. The background of some of these trees look like stained glass. Imitation stained glass would be an example of faux stained glass, and you might want to consider doing a stained glass background. I'm going to draw some trees for you and just show you some examples. So maybe you just want to make a triangle for a tree. That's very simple. Maybe you want to draw a triangle that's a little bit curved, a tree like that. Maybe you want to draw a triangle and then a bigger triangle and a bigger triangle. Those are really easy to draw. Maybe you want to draw a triangle and then you want to put some decorations or garland on a tree. Maybe you want to make a tree that looks like this, like a letter U. Maybe you want to draw some snow and add a second line like that for all of your trees. You could do that on any tree. I could do that on this tree. Maybe you want to make a tree that looks like this and it's pointed. As the tree gets closer towards the bottom, it gets a little bit wider. And of course, all of my trees need to have tree trunks. Now you could stop right here, or if you wanted to add stars on your tree, you could add stars. If you want to add some designs, this is definitely faux. I wouldn't look outside and see a tree that has swirls like that. I could add some extra swirls. If you want to add some ornaments on a tree, you could add some ornaments. Right here, 6 examples of some trees that might help give you or make you inspired. So I'm going to get a white piece of paper. I'm going to put my paper landscape. You decide how you want to have your paper, what direction you want to have your paper. And I'm just going to make triangle shapes for trees. So I'm just going to fill up my paper. I'm going to make a lot of triangles. I'm going to put some close to the bottom of my paper so you can't see the trunk. This one right here, my trunk would go all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to overlap and put some trees behind other trees. So you decide how you want to draw your faux trees. Now, if I look outside, a tree really does not just look like a triangle. We all know that is not realistic. And I just cropped this tree. I had it come off of the edge of my paper. I'm going to draw all my tree trunks to the bottom of my paper, and this tree doesn't even have a tree trunk. I think I'm going to put a star on the top of all of my trees. If you want to add a star, you could add a star to yours. If you don't want a star, you don't have to add a star. That's up to you to decide. Drawing a star like that is pretty tricky. If you don't know how to draw a star like that, then maybe you want to draw a star like this. If you don't know how to draw a star like that, the step-by-step directions go like this. Make a triangle and then go across. And like that. And then do that again and then complete it. So you go up, down, across to the left, across to the right, and then back down to where you started. So you can draw stars if you would like to draw stars. I'm going to stop right now and I'm going to outline what I have drawn. You might want to do all of your designs before you do the outlining, but just to make things speed up and go a little bit faster, I'm going to draw all the rest of my designs with my black Sharpie. But first I'm going to outline the trees that I have drawn. I'm not doing such a great job staying right on my pencil line, so it's really important that you have an eraser handy so that you can erase all of your pencil lines. I didn't like that star, so I redrew it slightly. I like my black marker outline of my star better. Maybe you want to make a kindness tree or a love tree, and you want to put something else on the top of your tree like hearts. Maybe your birthday's coming up and you want to make birthday trees. Maybe you have a December or a January birthday or a winter birthday. I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase all of my pencil lines. I'm going to do that right now. Always makes your artwork look much neater when all the pencil lines are gone. I'm going to draw all of my patterns and designs with my black marker, and then I'm going to color it in. So hold on and let me draw my patterns. All right, now that I have drawn everything, it's time to color. So I'm going to put the top on my marker and I'm going to add color. I have a lot of markers over here and you choose the colors that you want. I'm going to start with making all of my stars yellow. I'm going to make sure that I take my time and I stay inside of the lines the very best that I can. We all make mistakes, but we want to work slowly and neatly and stay in the lines the best that we can. I'm going to outline and then color it in. That's always a good strategy. You've heard me say that before. Outline and then color it in. I have a large selection of Crayola markers with a lot of different colors. So I'm going to use different shades of green and I'm going to color in my trees with different shades of green. If you don't have different shades of greens or whatever color you want to use, maybe you can push harder or lighter, different weights coloring. That will show you different variations of values of green. All right, I am going to continue to color my trees. So sit back and relax and watch my faux art come to life. Now that all of the trees are colored, I'm going to color in my tree trunks. I'm going to start with a light brown. If you only have one shade of brown, then just choose any brown that you can find. I'm going to start with a light brown. I'm going to color all of my tree trunks light brown. Then I'm going to use my dark brown and I'm going to add a little line on the left side. I'm just going to add a little shadow. You could add some stripes or some texture. That's up to you. Don't forget to write your name someplace on your artwork and then put your teacher's initial. If you want to, you could stop right here. Look at your artwork. Do you think there's anything else that you could do to it? You could add a stained glass background if you wanted to, or you could add some snowflakes or some stars. You can do that with your black marker, or you could do that with your colored marker. I am going to use my black marker, and I am going to add some stars like this, or you could call them snowflakes if you want to call them snowflakes. This is just a way to add more detail to the sky. Could be snowing up in the sky. Now these trees definitely are not realistic. This is an example of faux or fake art. These are definitely fake trees. Are you done? Or could you even add more? I'm going to use some yellow, and I'm going to add some circles for additional stars. Think about all of the detail that you can use when you're making your artwork. Take your time, color in nice and neatly. Make sure there's no white paper showing where you don't want white paper showing. You could color in the whole sky if you want to color in the whole sky. Let me show you some more examples of some faux trees that I made. Here's the one that I just colored with you. Here is an example of just one tree. If you wanted to draw just one tree, you might like that one. And then finally, here is an example of 4 trees, and I held this paper portrait. So you decide if you want to make your artwork portrait or landscape. Either way is just fine. I hope you had fun making trees today, and I hope you learned a little bit about faux art. Make sure you send me a picture of your artwork, and I look forward to seeing you guys all next week. Bye!